and I want to bring in Vimlendu Jha on this. Vimlendu Jha, as somebody who's perhaps supporting this move, and you may have very good reasons to do so, the point is there are still diesel vehicles being registered in the National Capital Region. Electric vehicles, while their penetration may have increased over the last few years, it should have been on a war footing. Diesel generators are still operational across the NCR. All of these are big polluting factors. Construction, for instance, is rampant in the national capital, but there's no curbs, no checks on it.
Absolutely, Madhav. So just, 2 wrongs or 3 wrongs or multiple wrongs on the front of air quality governance cannot really justify this one measure that we're talking about. We need to understand that our love, nostalgia, concern for our old cars that we actually have cannot be more important than the lungs of our children. When in the same breath that you actually talked about the data, that every third child actually has asthma, the life expectancy reduces by 10 to 12 years. There's no doubt, and please understand one thing, there's something called road readiness, and there's something called airworthiness. So roadworthiness is very, very different. A car, just because you get a PUC certificate, that does not mean every scientific, and by the way, this is very misleading to say that there's no scientific data to prove that old vehicles don't pollute. Old vehicles pollute. You will not believe that if you were actually plying a 10-year-old diesel vehicle in London, you actually have to pay 1,800 rupees per day. In Singapore, any diesel vehicle more than 10 years is deregistered automatically.
But Vimlendu, does that depend on the quality of maintenance? You could have a new vehicle that's polluting far more than an old vehicle that's maintained well.
We don't have in India, we know how we maintain our cars, right? And therefore, I do not understand this special love. And middle class doesn't want to pay parking prices, doesn't want price hike, wants clean air, and does campaign for that, but doesn't want car to be banned. I do not know whether this is a double standard on our part. We are actually trying
because there are huge swaths. There are huge swaths. Hear me out. There are huge swaths of the population. Let Kapil Madan come in on this. Kapil Madan, is this an inherent hypocrisy of the people of Delhi, as Vimlendu is pointing out? Because whether we're talking about old age pensioners, whether we're talking about the economically weaker sections who are looking aspirationally at a vehicle as a mode of transport, as a mode of social mobility, it impacts a huge swath of people. And certainly, while pollution is a big issue in the national capital, what then is the way out?